In a small village surrounded by lush hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a girl named Amina. She was unlike any other girl in the village. While others her age spent their days fetching water or learning how to cook, Amina would sit by the river, reading books and dreaming of a future that no one believed she could have. One day, as she gazed out over the land, she whispered to herself, "One day, I'll be a doctor. I'll help people, and I'll make this village proud." But Amina didn't know yet how much she would have to fight for that dream.
Amina had always loved books. Her father, a hard-working farmer, had given her the gift of learning by buying her books whenever he could. Though money was scarce, he believed education was something no one could take away from you. Every day, Amina would rise before the sun, gather water for the family, and then retreat to her favorite spot by the river. She would spend hours reading about the human body, cures for diseases, and tales of faraway places. On one of these days, as Amina sat by the riverbank, her older brother, Kofi, approached with a basket of firewood. Kofi said, "Amina, you're always here with your books. Are you going to spend your whole life reading? You know, the villagers think girls like you should be helping out in the kitchen, not chasing foolish dreams." Amina looked up at Kofi with a small smile. She loved him, but his words always seemed to pull her down. She stood up, brushing the dirt off her dress. "But Kofi, what if I'm meant for more? I want to help people, to heal them. Just like the doctors I've read about. I want to be a doctor. Not just someone who does what everyone else expects." Kofi's face softened for a moment, but then he sighed, shaking his head. "Kofi, told her doctors are for rich people. Amina said girls like us don't go to school to become doctors. You should focus on what's practical, like learning how to cook and take care of the home." Amina stood her ground. "I can't give up on my dream. I have to try, no matter what." Amina was relentless. Each day, after finishing her chores, she would bury herself in her studies. She read about anatomy, medicine, and healing plants that grew in the forests near her home. But the village wasn't kind to her dreams. The elders, wise and old, frowned upon her ambitions. They said it was unnatural for a girl to have such lofty goals. They gathered in a circle under the shade of a large baobab tree, shaking their heads as they spoke. The first elder said, "Girls don't go to school to become doctors. Amina should be learning to cook and take care of the house, like all good girls." The second elder said, "She's wasting her time. A woman's place is to get married, not chase after dreams that won't come true." Amina overheard these words as she passed by the tree. The elder's laughter stung like 1,000 bee stings, but she didn't let it stop her. She smiled quietly to herself and promised, "I will prove them wrong." Every evening, Amina would sit with her uncle, who was a village healer, asking him questions about plants and medicines. Although her uncle didn't have formal schooling, his knowledge of healing herbs and traditional remedies was vast. Uncle told Amina that she had the spirit of a healer. "But remember, the path you are on will not be easy. It will take more than knowledge, it will take courage and determination." Amina nodded, her heart swelling with hope. She knew her dream would be difficult, but she was ready for the challenge. As Amina's passion for her dream grew, so did her feelings for Kwame. Kwame had always been by her side. They had known each other since they were children, playing together under the mango tree, sharing dreams and hopes for the future. But now, something was changing. Kwame, like most of the village boys, didn't fully understand Amina's dream. He loved her, and he wanted her to be happy, but he also wanted her by his side. He saw how hard Amina worked and felt torn. He didn't want to lose her to the city, to a world he couldn't reach. One evening, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon, Kwame found Amina sitting alone by the river, her book open in her lap. He sat beside her, his heart heavy. Kwame speaking to Amina, "I've been thinking. You work so hard, but do you really believe you can live here? They'll never let you become a doctor. The elders think you're wasting your time. Amina closed her book and looked at him, her eyes filled with determination. I can't give up on my dreams, Kwame. It's the one thing that keeps me going. I know it won't be easy, but I have to try. Kwame took a deep breath, his voice full of emotion. But I love you, Amina. What if your dreams take you far away from me? What if you leave the village, leave everything behind? Amina's heart trembled. She had always thought that one day she and Kwame would build a life together in the village. But now, her dream was pulling her in a different direction. Amina speaking. I love you too. But I can't live my life for anyone else. I have to be who I'm meant to be. Even if it means leaving. Kwame stood up, looking conflicted. He turned away for a moment, then came back and handed her a small bundle wrapped in cloth. Amina, I'll support you. I just want you to be happy. But promise me something, never forget where you came from. No matter how far you go, we will always be here. Amina took the bundle and opened it to find a small carved charm. It was a symbol of strength and hope, a reminder of their village, their love, and the life she was leaving behind. Amina thanked Kwame. I promise, no matter where I go, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget home. The day finally came. Amina had received a scholarship to a prestigious school in the city, a place where she would study medicine and fulfill her dream of becoming a doctor. The villagers were shocked. No one had ever expected a girl from their village to go so far. The morning she left, the whole village gathered to say their goodbyes. Amina's father, who had always supported her, stood proudly beside her. Kofi, her older brother, watched quietly, his face filled with pride and uncertainty. Kwame stood at the edge of the crowd, holding the small charm in his hand. Amina spotted him and walked over to him. The tension was gone now, replaced by a deep, quiet understanding. Kwame speaking, I'll miss you, Amina. But I'm proud of you. You'll do great things. Amina hugged him tightly. Amina speaking, I'll miss you too, Kwame. Thank you for believing in me. As she stepped onto the bus, she turned to wave one last time. The village, her home, was behind her. But her heart was full of hope and excitement for the future that awaited her. Moral of the story. Amina's journey shows that no dream is too big. It teaches us that despite the obstacles, we must keep fighting for what we believe in. It's important to follow our dreams, even when others doubt us. And while love and relationships are important, they should never hold us back from becoming who we are meant to be.